He's the president of the All-Tobago Fisherfolk Association, Mr. Curtis Douglas. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you and the team, Calvin. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here to, express our sentiments and our opinions in Tobago and some of the stuff that we are going through as a country and also as an island and one people. So it's a pleasure to be here this morning.
Well, thank you for joining us, sir, indeed. Now, let's start the conversation over what could be deemed as serious allegations, dependent on where it goes. The first thing is that you have suggested that there are Bajan fishing vessels that have been operating in Tobago's waters illegally. On what grounds could you make these allegations, especially operating in the waters illegally?
No, let me just correct that. I don't know about the illegal process of it because I don't know what arrangement Bajans have with Trinidad and Tobago. First of all, I do not know if the Prime Minister would have made a deal with the Bajans. I'm not sure. But what I do know for a fact is that there are Bajan fishing boats catching our flying fish in Tobago. And basically, we are just saying enough is enough. Enough is enough. I just need to remind everyone that, in the oil boom days with all of this oil money that passed through the hands of Trinidad and Tobago, they did not see it fit to develop Tobago tourism because Tobago depends on tourism and fish for the survival. Those are our major income earners on this island. We have give up it because we want our neighboring island to develop their tourism. It was given up because of CARICOM, right? And I must say, the government who came and go here did not see it fit to develop Tobago tourism. They only concentrate on domestic tourism. Hence the reason why we are at this junction today. We are fighting for our fish. So we are not willing to give up our fish for Barbados. Mm-hmm. Be honest. Because we were there and I was there. I personally see the Bajan boats coming here, catching our fish, catching out the flying fish. Now, when they catch the flying fish, these flying fish are recorded in Barbados as Barbados catch. And no one is doing anything about it. Hence the reason why I'm saying I do not know if there have to be some form of arrangement between the government and the Barbados or CARICOM. Because we are feeling it. It's only now they see it fit to even start an airport to attract tourism in Tobago. Meanwhile, Guyana is oil rich. It's oil rich now. But Guyana is fast ahead developing their tourism to ensure that their future in tourism is developed.
Well, Mr. Douglas, let me two points from what you just mentioned. Have you sought clarification at all as it relates to the legality of these vessels entering the Bajan waters? And two, you just mentioned that when it is being caught in Tobago waters in Barbados, it's being labeled as a Bajan catch. Why is that important?
Okay, we all know it was said that Bajan is the home for flying fish, like Trinidad is the mecca for carnival. Make no mistake. When you catch fish outside of your waters, you have something we call data collecting. And when they collect the data and records, if you record that it is caught in Barbados, not Tobago. So I am here to let everybody know that this fish that these Bajan boats are catching are recorded in Tobago waters. And this should be known. Now, listen to me. Don't get me wrong, Don't get me wrong. It's CARICOM. But what have CARICOM, what else can we give up to help us develop in Tobago? It is special. Now, look, we even have the processors in Tobago closing down because they lack of flying fish. When these Bajans in our waters, they come with the big boats. They give the fish lights. They pull the fish. One come last 3 weeks to a month ago. They come to spend 4 days. Within 2 days, it was filled, so they going back. And when them gone, someone else coming back,
Is it that the processors in Tobago are closing down because of the lack of flying fish, or is it more so because of the cost associated with consuming fish, and consumers are turning to other alternatives, other protein alternatives?
No, flying fish is one of the cheapest commodity you have on the market, right? So when processors hire workers, right, it creates employment for a lot of people, mainly a lot of women on this island, right? But when you cannot get the flying fish to process because of the Bajans and the activities in our waters, how do you want the processors to survive? How could they pay the workers? They can't get the product, they can't get the raw product. So both flying fish is reasonably cheap in Tobago. It's cheap in Tobago, right? Because I mean, you could get a crate of flying fish for $300 to $400, and that is that's a lot of flying fish. That's a lot of flying fish. So it is, the market is there, right? What we are saying in Tobago, and the All-Tobago Fisherfolk are saying for Tobago and the fisherfolk, hey, yes, it's good, CARICOM. You want our flying fish? Let us catch your flying fish and we will sell it to you. That's a fair trade. That's only a fair trade. So that we in Trinidad and Tobago will be able to survive. The processors will be able to process and sell their flying fish, and also the Bajans will be able to ascertain. But when you send fleets of 10 and 15 and 20 boats, ships, what do you expect us to have? In Tobago, we use pirogues. We use pirogues. We used to pull the fish 5 miles. Now we had to go 35, 40 miles. Come on, enough is enough.
Well, Mr. Douglas, I hear you on many points, but correct me if I'm wrong, because something stands out. Though you've suggested that you've given up, or Tobago has given up some of its resources in order to help develop another island's industry, such as Barbados. It also seems in that same breath that you are, to a certain extent, critical of the current relationship between Trinidad and Tobago and CARICOM. Is it that you are suggesting that as where we stand currently, CARICOM is detrimental to Tobago's fishing industry?
I wouldn't say CARICOM is detrimental. I am just saying it can't be detrimental. What we are putting on the table is that the Bajan fisher folks should be able to purchase the flying fish from Tobagonians. So we should all work together at a reasonable price so that the Bajans will be able to make a living, and that we will be able to survive. As I said earlier on, tourism and fishing is our major revenue in Tobago, right? And I'm saying in the past, Tobago was given up on government, come government go. No one had invested in tourism in Tobago. Make no mistake. Tobago can be the island in the world for tourism, or throughout the Caribbean. Make no mistake. Or we had this right water, the right attitude, our culture, Trinidad and Tobago. We sell that they can't beat us. They can't beat us. But no one has sought to put the funding to develop our fishing industry and the tourism industry. I don't want to stray from the point, we don't even have a university in Tobago. We don't even have a university. Everything we do is paid in Trinidad. And now Barbados is coming now to take our flying fish, right? And we should sit back and say no, and say, okay, no, we can't do that. So we are saying, through CARICOM or through the Prime Minister-led government, let's sit down around the table with ATFA and let's work out a deal whereby Trinidad and Tobago will be able to provide the flying fish to Barbados so that it wouldn't have this problem, because we run the risk with the Bajans here, overfishing and unemployment ramping in Tobago. We don't want Tobago to become a next crime-ridden island. We're trying to prevent that. Hence the reason why I'm here this morning, to express our intelligence and to the way forward to build better community and relationship with CARICOM instead of having a one-sided all the time.
I suppose the argument now is not the depletion of the fishing products for the local market. It's more so the cost associated with a lost catch. I think that is where your argument truly lies.
Right. No, watch. One flying fish in Barbados right now is $1 something, right? Roundabout. It's over US. We are saying, look, let's be reasonable and fair. Okay, let's be reasonable and fair. Let's work out. So we can now target the flying fish and supply it to Barbados. With the growing gas rate in this island, we need to concentrate more on our local and international economy. We need to focus on that instead of focusing on oil. We all thought oil and gas will not run out, but look where we are for today. Look where we are for today. We have to be innovative. We have to think futuristic, and we have to have our 5 or 10-year plan in the terms for Tobago, for Trinidad, for us in this island. Is one island, Trinidad and Tobago. Well, so we have to do what is important.
I know that you've also stated that you on behalf of the association, are planning to write to the Prime Minister to try and sort out this situation. Why not to the Director of Fisheries in Tobago? Why to the Prime Minister? Aren't you concerned that this can turn into a diplomatic row?
Look, I'm not a politician. I'm not into the diplomatic. All I'm seeing is that the Tobago diaspora, the people in Tobago, the fisherfolk in Tobago, some of the main earners on this island, and we're talking about our food. I'm saying food security along the line in the next 8 to 10 years. And if we continue this way, we are not going to get our flying fish, and we are not going to get our dolphin. We're not going to get our kingfish. All of these things will be something of the past. I am trying to safeguard and protect it. And this was not only drawn to my attention, this was drawn to the attention of other groups in Tobago, prior from the fishing community,
but
because they would observe and understand and recognize what is going on.
Why not the Director of Fisheries? Why not the Director of Fisheries or the Tobago House of Assembly? Why the Prime Minister?
I don't want to be rude, but the Director of Fisheries that we have presently right now is a waste of time, right? He's a waste of time. He's not a visionary. Man can't even catch a fish. He don't even know how to throw a line, right? He don't understand the plight of fishermen. The Director of Fisheries concentrate on we getting our fishing license and stuff like that. The All-Tobago Fisherfolk, which is actually responsible for fisherfolk on this island, will do all that we have to do to represent our fishing and our income. That is the role and function of AFA. Hence the reason why we're here. This is beyond the Director of Fisheries of Tobago. This is beyond Miss Lucky in Trinidad. This is something that have to be done through the Chief Secretary, the Prime Minister, the MPs. These are the people who are to adjust this situation. Because make no mistake, we are not afraid to protest in front of the Bajan consulate. Make no mistake.
Are there any plans to do such?
Yes, we are prepared. We are prepared. So before it reaches that stage, first today, the group, which is All-Tobago Fisherfolk, which I'm the president of, are going to send the first email and letter to the Prime Minister of this country. And also, we are going to send it to the opposition leader. We are going to send it to everyone that needs to know how we come up and what idea we come up with to have a resolution and have our community and to save our fishing industry in Tobago.
Well, Mr. Douglas, I want to thank you very much for joining me on AM Prime this morning. I suppose we will get further updates throughout the course of today and by extension the rest of the week and perhaps into next week following that particular email. But thank you very much for sharing this information and your side, the All-Tobago Fisherfolk Association side of this story. And we will continue to keep abreast with the latest news. But keep well for now, sir.
Cheers. And I'm going to send you a copy of that email.
Please do. Please do.